folks. This is Mark Morgan, the kosher ham, KB9RQZ, general political nuisance, and all around total nutjob. But I hope you'll find this interesting. For anyone coming to this late, like after in the future, there was a school shooting last week down in Broward County. The world is going to hell, and it's all Donald Trump's fault, obviously, despite the fact that Donald Trump has only been around for, a couple of years on the national scene. He's responsible for everything, including the death of the dinosaurs. And all in all, our general political craziness. And all of that, I choose to talk to you about climate. First, let me sum up everything that I feel we absolutely know about climate change. 1. Climate changes. 2. Man has something to do with it. 3. We really don't know anything more than that, and I could end the video right there at about 57 seconds. But I will share some more thoughts. 1, we know that none of the climate models seems to work. What does that tell us? That we don't know what's going on. Very simple. Why don't we know what is going on? Simple. We don't look for it. I know we spend a lot of money on climate research, but I know from efforts of friends of mine, you can only get a grant if you know what you're going to get out of the grant. If you don't know the results, you can't do the science. And if you know the results, there's no science to do. This, in my opinion, is a problem, and I'll probably come and talk some point for minutes, days, hours, years about the problems in current science and its funding. But that's another day. We know from satellite data that the upper part, the north of the Earth, is getting warmer. The different satellite systems are not in complete agreement with where that begins. Like one of the sets says it's north of the tropics that the planet is warmer. Some say the equator. It all depends on your definition of these terms, etc., because the Earth, for some reason, is not a regular shape. God did not choose to manufacture Earth in an easily computer modelable shape. Shame on God. But that's another matter, too. The southern hemisphere, I can say the same thing, except that it's getting colder. In both hemispheres, CO2 levels are rising. The southern hemisphere does lag behind the north, but they're rising in both areas, all areas. This means I cannot see how increasing carbon dioxide warms the northern hemisphere and cools the southern. There's something else going on here. Personally, I believe in a Malthusian population bomb theory of climate control, which is the more of us and the better we live, the more we change the climate. To me, that seems perfect common sense, as opposed to pretending that CO2 levels are a magic thermostat on the environment. It doesn't ever seem to be that simple. Right now, I haven't seen a climate model that is showing useful results after 5 years, but we're supposed to completely dislocate our lives over what might happen in a century. And these models assume there's no significant change in our technology. Hell, the Vulcans could show up, make first contact, nuclear missile satellite. No, that's a movie story somewhere, wasn't it? And everything changes. We could develop finally working usable fusion any moment now, and everything changes. We could finally decide to start building fission engines that so scare people thanks to 3 Mile Island. But no, we must basically give up electricity and most of the products of civilization because there might be a negative effect in a century or two, if nothing else changes. And we know it will change. This tablet device that I'm talking to you on is what, 10-year-old technology? I kind of missed the beginning of it since I was hanging out in the UP, so I'm not sure exactly when it showed up. But it wasn't here at the beginning of the century. Accordingly, we don't know what's going to happen. We need to try to reduce our impacts in the long run, to try to form acceptable compromises So, no, I'm not going for the organic, vegan, meatless technology to save the planet because the planet's in no danger. We might be. And nor am I going to let's just burn it all. But in the end, I want man to leave this planet. But that's a source for another video. This is the Kosher Ham. I thank you for the last 6 minutes of your time and hope that maybe someone out there will think after I've talked to you. Have fun. Have a wishy-washy day.